Our restoration comes through our obedience. Change comes through corrective behavior. And if all of us get into the righteous mindset, then restoration comes. People are at the door of their significant change and will lose what the Most High has for them because they've never seen their faith as something to fight for. You and I as the Israelites, have to war within yourselves and against your own fleshly lust. You have to war with worldly temptation. With all the spiritual energy you can muster, war for the kingdom of Yah.
We aim and shoot scriptural bullets at demon troops. I'm just spitting truth. Look at yourself if it's staying in you.
All right, Shalom, Israel, what's going on? First, I want to start out by giving all praises to the Most High Yahweh in the name of His Son, Yahweh Shah. And the name of today's lesson is Bellum. And what that means in Latin is prepare for war. Let me get Book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 9 through 13.
The book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up.
You see that? So if you look at the climate, the political climate, geopolitical climate, there's a lot of nations that's entering into war. You know, you got just recently Iran, the U.S. and Israel. You know, you got the U.S. attacking Venezuela. You know, all the other various wars that were already going on before that. You know, you still got Ukraine and Russia still going at it. You know, so sounds like all the Gentiles, just like this scripture say, preparing to go to war. Keep going.
Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourself and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be wakened. Come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there I will sit to judge all the heathen round about. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get ye down, for the press is full, the fats overflow, for their wickedness is great.
You see that? So the wickedness of this world has been very great, and it's high time. You know, this world is ripe for war. So it's going to be a lot of death and a lot of killing going around. You know, are you ready for that type of war? Let me get Matthew 24, 6 through 8.
Matthew 24, verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
You see that? So you see all the wars and all the rumors of wars. You know, you hear about other little small conflicts and you know, shows of forces by, you know, especially like countries like North Korea. You know, they it's like they testing the waters, seeing what they can get away with. You know, so that's the rumors of wars. Keep going.
Verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows.
You see that? And that's just the beginning. So, you know, if you think stuff bad now, don't worry, it'll get worse. It's just the beginning. You know, so that's why we got to prepare for this type of thing, you know. Let me get this first article. It's a CNN article, and it's titled, China warns flames of war spreading and calls on U.S. to help manage differences ahead of Xi and Trump meeting. China's top diplomat cast his country as a defender of peace and stability as a war in Iran rages, while striking a conciliatory tone towards the United States ahead of a highly anticipated summit between the two nations' leaders. This is a war that should have never happened and a war that benefited no one, Wang Yi, China's foreign minister, said at a Sunday news briefing on the sidelines of the annual assembly of China's rubber stamp legislation. Wang touted China as the world's most important force of peace, stability, and justice, reiterating Beijing's call for an immediate ceasefire to prevent the situation from escalating and avoid the spillover and spread of the flames of war. You see that? So China is calling for, some type of peace, so to reconcile this situation. Keep going. All parties should return to the negotiating table as soon as possible and resolve their differences through equal dialogue, he added. China's growing concern about the war with Iran comes as top leader Xi Jinping prepares to host U.S. President Donald Trump in Beijing for crucial talks between the world's two largest economies toward the end of this month. The summit is expected to address a wide range of key issues, from trade frictions to Taiwan, adding a new layer of complication to the impending talks. Is now a rapidly escalating war in the Middle East. So you see this thing, they was China trying to get some kind of negotiation going here, but the U.S. just adding on to it. You know how they say the tariffs are beneficial, and they say the tariffs are a good thing, but you see, I'm sure you feel that tariff in your pocket too every time you go to the store. So, China trying to come to some kind of negotiation. Iran's leaders have long had close relations with Beijing. You see that? Iran's leaders have long had close relations with Beijing. China, like many other nations, have looked on with alarm at the killing of Iran's leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, as well as the spike in oil prices and a hit to the global economy sparked by the escalating conflict. You see that? So on a national scale, a lot of these countries are more concerned about the economic impact of this war, because like I say, he was already having trouble with the tariffs and all the other trade agreements. So now you adding the war on top of that. So get ready for gas to go up too. Let me skip down. A parade of traditionally close U.S. allies, from French President Emmanuel Macron to British Prime Minister Keir Starmer and German Chancellor Friedrich Merz, have visited China over the last few months in a sign of Beijing's successful effort in courting them. Wang made a nod to that development. We have noted that an increasing number of insightful figures in Europe recognize that China is not a competitor, but a global partner, he said, while urging more cooperation and trade between the two blocs. So the U.S. the only one that's causing conflict here. You see that? Everybody else, they starting to build their relations with China, all the other European countries. So, I see this getting ripe as at some point. I can see a lot of countries starting to turn on the U.S. because they call it for peace, and the United States just spread more war. You see that? Let me get this next scripture. Give me 2nd Ezra 15, 1-6.
2nd Ezra 15. Speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction.
You see that? So you see how they worry about the economy. You see the sword already swinging around here, but the famine and the famine, when your economy bad, that's what's the next step, famine. You see that? And then people die from that. You have so many people that die from famine. I think during World War I and World War II, more people died from famine and disease because, your logistics are running the country all messed up from fighting and, getting your supply lines cut. More people died from famine and disease than died from actually being killed directly in the war. So, that's what that's a big concern. Keep going.
Verse 6. For the wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled.
You see that? So this is a wicked world going on around here. You know, it's a lot of wickedness going on. You know, you see homosexuality spreading. You see all the greed and senseless hate by the leaders. You know, they're you know, if they don't necessarily write this down nowhere, but you know, certain moves that they pull and if people die in it, they'll look at it like it's good for business. You know, if a bunch of people died, but it was very profitable or very, you know, so-called beneficial to the country, that was good for business. So, you know, it's a wicked world around here. Let me get verses 14 through 19.
Verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draw nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedation among men, and an invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, or the courses of their actions shall stand in their power.
You see that? So it's gonna be a sedition or tension, you know, fighting, hatred amongst each other. You know, you see that now on a global scale, how the U.S. then invaded Venezuela. They went right down there, killed a leader, and Trump already talking about taking over the oil. You know, the same as in the talks for Greenland. You know, he want to annex Greenland. You know, he go put tariffs on them until they surrender. Pretty much. You know, it's a lot of sedition going on. Keep going.
Verse 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and should not be able.
You see that? Do they recommend international travel right now? I don't think so. Sit up here and try to go to South America if you want to. Keep going.
For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with swords, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation.
You see that? So you know, you know, when things really start to heat up, you know, it's war on the land that you living in. You know, it's gonna be either me or you. You know, when I say me or you, like you or your neighbor, you know, they might, if they know you got resources over here, you can forget it. Somebody go come in and try to take those resources. You know, give me that video out.
Here's the crazy thing. You mentioned earlier that we're heading toward another war right here.
Yeah, I'm telling you, we're due for it. I think eventually this bubble's going to pop. That's my theory. I don't think that this can go on for too much longer. I give it like to 2030 before. I mean, I don't think we're going to make it that far, but we're on a slippery slope towards another civil war. I'm not going to say I'm cool with that. I think a lot of people think they want it, but I don't think they're ready for the type of environment and the people who operate in environments like that. I don't think they're ready for that. You know, the last thing, and I was talking to my wife about it, the last thing you want is guys like me out on the streets fighting a war with no rules of engagement, where I make up my own. You don't want that. The average civilian is not ready for that. Like, why is Nick doing that? Why did Nick do this to me? At the end of the day, guerrilla warfare is a bit. You're my friend one moment, but the next moment, if you got something I want or I need to take care of my family, I won't let you know about it, and I'm gonna kill the block.
Here's the crazy thing. You mentioned
You see that? So this guy's is a ex-army ranger that, you know, sniper type of guy. And you know, can you imagine a war breakout or, you know, society collapse and this guy's around here like this just running around? I mean, really, they train serial killers when you think about it. So just imagine trained serial killers with no rules of engagement or nobody to stop them from doing what they're doing. Man, can you imagine trying to live like that? I can't. That's gonna be a rough one right there. And you know, but that's gonna be the times that we living in. So, you know, if you think you want to go through that, man, I think you better think again. You know, it ain't gonna be no comfort. It ain't gonna be no, I'm finna go, it's a nice day, let me just sit outside. Somebody go probably try to kill you just for sitting there. Let me get Mark 13, 19, and 20.
The book of Mark, chapter 13 and 19. For in those days shall be affliction, such as was not from the beginning of the creation, which God created until this time, neither shall be. And except that the Lord shorten those days, no flesh shall be saved.
You see that? Go ahead.
But for the elect's sake, whom he have chosen, he have shortened the days.
You see that affliction gonna be so bad that ain't nobody gonna be able to survive it. But for the elect's sake, the Most High gonna shorten those days. So think this gonna be a cakewalk if you want to. Everybody just go barely make it. It ain't gonna be no cakewalk for nobody. Let me get Ezekiel 13 and 16.
Ezekiel 13 and 16. To wit, the prophets of Israel, which prophesied concerning Jerusalem, and which see visions, peace to her. And there is no peace, saith the Lord God.
You see that? So you go into these churches, they prophesying like good times coming. They prophesying like prosperity is coming, but that's just not true. Because as we can see, it's a lot of tension in this world. I don't know what Bible they reading if they want to sit here and prophesy about that. They're not keeping it real with you. Because it's all about that dollar and making you feel good. So they ain't gonna give you this kind of information. Let me get 2nd Ezra 15, 22 through 27.
2nd Ezra 15 to 22. My right hand shall not spare the sinners, and my sword shall not cease over them that shed innocent blood upon the earth. The fire is gone forth from his wrath and have consumed the foundations of the earth and the sinners like the straw that is kindled. Woe to them that sin and keep not my commandments, saith the Lord.
Hold on, read that part again.
Woe to them that sin and keep not my commandments, saith the Lord.
You see that? When you sin and you breaking the commandments of the Most High, you go be on the wrong side of this. Let's put it that way. Keep going.
I will not spare them. Go your way, ye children, from the power. Defile not my sanctuary.
You see that? The Most High is not going to have no mercy, and he not going to spare you if you out here running around sinning in these times. Keep going.
For the Lord knoweth all that sin against him, and therefore deliver he them unto death and destruction.
You see that? So the Most High, he know it. You ain't got to, you might sit here and put on like you're doing good to, in front of the congregation or in front of other brothers, but the Most High really know what you're doing. Them angels recording everything you do, so keep that in mind. So don't think just because you look good in front of other men that the Most High don't know what you really got going on. Keep going.
For now are the plagues come upon the whole earth, and ye shall remain in them. For God shall not deliver you, because ye have sinned against him.
You see that? The Most High is not going to deliver you if you're not keeping these laws. You're going to be destroyed, just like all the other flesh. You're not going to be part of that elect that gets spared. You're going to get destroyed. So think you think you playing. Think he out here playing with you. Let me get 2 Corinthians 10 and 4. Because this is the only way we go. It's one of the ways we got to survive out here.
2 Corinthians 10 and 4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to pulling down of strongholds.
You see that? So we got to get the spiritual part before, if you don't got the spiritual part down pat, you're not going to make it. I don't care how many guns you got or how much preparation, how much food you done stored up, because the weapons are, at the end of the day, the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. So think you finna actually fight your way through this if you want. You're not gonna make it. Let me get 2nd Ezra 16, 18 through 32.
2nd Ezra 16 and 18. The beginning of sorrows and great mourning, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall be in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when the evil shall come?
You see that? This is just the beginning, not the beginning. Keep that in mind. This is the beginning. Keep going.
Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are set as scrolls for amendment.
Mm-hmm.
But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges.
You see that? So, we can see that now. No matter what kind of punishment the Most High put us through, we've been through slavery. We, civil rights, Jim Crow, all the various vagrancy laws and loitering laws that lock us up. We get locked up like crazy now, and none of it make us say, "Dog, maybe we should stop sinning and turn back towards the Most High." Most people, it don't even cross their mind. Keep going.
Verse 21. Behold, victuals shall be so good, cheap upon the earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion.
You see that? And then especially during COVID, everything was so cheap. Everybody, people was getting their stimulus checks. They going buying seafood boils and doing all kind of stuff with their stimulus check money and not doing what they supposed to do with it. So stuff was cheap then, but you see it now, it's starting to swing back the other way. Now people worried and people concerned. Keep going.
For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy.
You see that? If you don't you escape the famine, the sword go get you. Keep going.
And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them. For the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down.
You see that? And this ain't in no one little spot. This the whole earth. This ain't local. Keep going.
There shall be no man to till the earth and to sow it.
There's gonna be so many people dead. Ain't gonna be nobody to farm or till the earth. Keep going.
The trees shall give fruit, and who shall gather them? The grapes shall ripen, and who shall trim them? For all places shall be desolate of men. For the one man shall desire to see another and to hear his voice.
Now imagine that. It's so few people left out here in this world that you gonna be looking for somebody and ain't gonna be able to find them. I mean, right now you probably get tired of seeing people, but don't worry. If you make it through this, you go wish you will see a person. Keep going.
For a city there shall be 10 left, and 2 of the field shall hide themselves in the thick groves and in the cliffs of the rocks.
And you see that? Imagine that a city like Detroit or Atlanta or Chicago, or anything but a handful of people left, 10, 15 people left walking around. That's man. And then you don't even know if these 10 or 15 people trying to kill you or not. Keep going.
As in an orchard of olives, upon every tree there are left 3 or 4 olives.
You see that? It's gonna be like after you done harvested the trees, there just be a couple of little fruit that's left hanging around. Keep going.
Or as when a vineyard is gathered, there are left some clusters of them that diligently seek through the vineyard. Even so,
go ahead.
Even so, in those days, there should be 3 or 4 left by them that search their houses with the sword.
You see that? And then the 3 or 4 people left, they gonna be coming through, kicking in doors, trying to steal resources. Keep going.
And the earth shall be laid waste, and the fields thereof shall wax old, and her ways and all her paths shall grow full of thorns, because no man shall travel there through.
You see that? Where do you think they get the shows like The Walking Dead from? They get this from Ezra. You see that? All this stuff comes from the Bible. Book of Eli. All this stuff comes from the Bible. They wasn't just making this stuff up. This stuff been prophesied. And then it's gonna happen. Let me get Isaiah 34, 1-8.
Isaiah 34 and 1. Come near, ye nations, to hear and to hearken. Ye people, let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world, and all the things that come forth of it. For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury.
No, it's just upon a couple of countries over there overseas. Is that what that said?
It's upon all nations.
Oh
And
man,
his
so this
fury,
this gonna be indignation is upon the whole world, not just over in the Middle East. So don't think it's gonna stay there. It's gonna be over here too, especially over here. Keep going.
for the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He have utterly destroyed them. He have delivered them to the slaughter. The slain also should be cast out, and their stink shall come up out their carcasses, and the mountain shall be melted with their blood.
You see, it's gonna be blood everywhere. I mean, it's it's gonna be so many dead people. It's gonna be more than you can imagine. Keep going.
And all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and all the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down as the leaf falling off the vine, and as fallen fig from a fig tree.
Mm-hmm.
For my soul shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment.
You see that, and this specifically go come down on Idumea. You know who Idumea is?
Esau.
God, see that, and that's who all over the world causing all the trouble, causing all the conflict. So it's the sword go fall on everybody, but specifically on Idumea. Keep going.
The sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For the Lord have a sacrifice in Basra, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea.
Seeming like he's singling out Esau at this point, because like I said, he the one going around spreading all the wickedness. Keep going.
And the unicorn shall come down with them, and the bullocks with the bulls, and their land shall be soaked with blood, and their dust made fat with fatness.
Mm-hmm.
For it is the day of the Lord's vengeance, and the year of recompense for the controversy of Zion.
You see that, and the Most High, he gonna be doing this on our behalf, because we are Zion, we are the people of Israel. So he getting them out the way so we can rise up and rule. Let me get Jeremiah 16:14-17.
The book of Jeremiah 16 and 14. Therefore, behold, the days come, said the Lord. They shall no more be. Let me start over. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that it shall no more be said, the Lord liveth that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But the Lord liveth that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, and from the lands whither he hath driven them. And I will bring them again into their land, and I will give them to their fathers.
You see that? So and after a while, it's gonna be the salvation gonna be so great, and the destruction first gonna be so great, then the salvation gonna be so great after that the Most High ain't gonna be known for destroying Israel and bringing the children of Israel. Destroying Egypt and bringing the children up out of that. He gonna be known for bringing us out of the land of the north, which is America, and from all the other countries that we scattered in. That's gonna be the talk. We go forget about Egypt. That's gonna make Egypt look small. So he go do something so great that we go forget about Egypt, and he go be the power that brought us up out of the land of the north and scattered from across the world. Keep going.
Behold, I will send for many fishers, and saith the Lord, and they shall fish them.
You see that? So that's our job right now. We supposed to be out there fishing, gathering up the nation, finding the lost sheep, bringing them back into the fold, bidding them into the marriage. That's what we supposed to be doing right now. Keep going.
And after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill, and out of the holes of the rocks.
You see that? And just after that, it's gonna be a lot of killing. Like I said, we just went through all the scriptures about how crazy it's gonna be after when this war spread all the way across the world. You think the Most High playing? He's sending us out here to hunt and gather up all the nation, gather up the elect, and then it's go after that. You better catch that window while it's still open. Turn back and repent, because you don't want to be one of them ones getting hunted. You don't want to be lumped in with Esau, getting gunned down and getting cut up, getting blew up. Keep going.
Verse 17. For my eyes are upon all their ways. They are not hid from my face, neither is their iniquity hid from my eyes.
Because like I said before, the Most High see it all. You might act like you're doing something, or, act like you're keeping the commandments. The Most High see you when you're not. Let me get Leviticus 20, 25 to 26.
Leviticus 20 and 25. Ye shall therefore put difference between clean beasts and unclean, and between unclean fowls and clean. And ye shall not make your souls abominable by beast, or by fowl, or by any manner of living thing that creep upon the ground, which I have separated from you as unclean.
You see that? And unclean, unclean is that go for people too. The Most High has separated us from certain people. It wasn't just food and food and stuff that you should and shouldn't eat. The Most High separated us from people as well. Keep going.
And ye shall be holy unto me, for I am the Lord am holy, and have served you from other people, that ye shall be mine.
You see that? He said it right there. He has severed us from other people that we can be healed. How can we be healed if we joined unto the enemy? Can't do it. Let me get Genesis 19, 13 through 15. Get a couple of examples here. The Most High cutting us off from other people.
Genesis 19 and 13. For we will destroy this place, because the cry of them is waxed great before the face of the Lord, and the Lord has sent us to destroy it.
You see that? Just to get it some context, this was Sodom and Gomorrah when the angels came down to visit Lot. And they saw all the wickedness that was going on, all the homosexuality that was going on. Keep going.
And Lot went out and spake to his sons-in-laws, which married his daughters, and said, Up, get out of this place, for the Lord will destroy this city. But he seemed as one that mocked his sons-in-law.
You see that? So you see that the Lot said, all right, we got to get up out of here, because the Lord going to destroy this place. Get back. Get out the way. That's what he's saying. Keep going.
And when the morning arose, the angel hastened Lot, saying, Arise, take thy wife and thy 2 daughters, which are here, lest thou be consumed in the iniquity of this city.
You see that? You got to get away from these people, because, eventually the iniquity go consume you too. You got to get away. You see that? You see the sons didn't want to go. They mocked at it. So they, it was just Lot and his 2 daughters that left, and his wife. All right, give me verses 26 through 29 on that.
Verse 26. But his wife looked back from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt.
You see that? So when you get out of this place, you can't look back at it. You can't bring them old habits with you. You can't bring them guys with them false gods with you. You can't bring the ideology and the philosophies that was in this place. You can't bring it with you. You got to leave all that behind. Don't look back at it. Leave the church on Sundays. Leave that there. Leave the homosexuality there. Leave all the unclean food there. Don't look back at it. Keep going.
Verse 27. And Abraham got up early in the morning to the place where he stood before the Lord. And he looked toward Sodom and Gomorrah and toward the land of the plain, and beheld, and lo, the smoke of the country went up as the smoke of a furnace. And it came to pass, when God destroyed the cities of the plain, that God remembered Abraham and sent Lot out of the midst of the overthrow, when he overthrew the cities of which Lot dwelt.
You see that? So because the Most High loved Lot, and Lot loved, and Abraham, because the Most High loved Abraham, and and Lot was Abraham's nephew, the Most High looked out for him. So when you get on, you gotta be in good standing with the Most High, because you go get burned up right with him. If you want to be part of this country and part of their ways, you go get burned up with them. Let me get Exodus 8, 22 through 23. It's another example when Most High told us to get out the way.
Exodus 8 and 22. And I was servant in the day the land of Goshen, in which my people dwell. that no swarms of flies shall be there, to the end that I may know is that I am the Lord in the midst of the earth.
You see that? So this land of Goshen was where the Israelites were living when they were in Egypt. You see the Most High, because they weren't living amongst the enemy, amongst their oppressor. You know, the Most High was able to separate the land of Goshen from everything else, all the plagues that was coming on. So you got to get out of their way. You got to get out of the Most High way and let him cook, let him work. Keep going.
And I will put a division between my people and thy people. Tomorrow shall this sign be.
You see that? So we got to make it. We got to cut out. We got to sever ourselves from these other nations because the destruction is coming. You do not want to be joined in, and you do not want to be joined unto them when they get here. You want to give yourself a chance to be part of that elect. Let me get Ezra 9:1-6.
Ezra 9:1. Now, when these things were done, the princes came to me, saying, the people of Israel and the priests and the Levites have not separated themselves from the people of the land, doing according to their abomination, even of the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Jebusites, the Amorites, the Moabites, the Egyptians, and the Amorites.
You see that? So when you don't separate yourself, you just end up doing the abominations that these other nations are doing. Keep going.
For they have taken of their daughters for themselves and their sons, so that the holy seed have mingled themselves with the people of those lands. The hand of the princes and the ruler have been chief in this trespass.
You see that? Hold on, read that last part again.
The hand of the princes and the rulers have been chief in this trespass.
You see that? So you'll see all the your Christian pastors, your celebrities, they trying to join everybody together and make this one big thing, but clearly that's not what the Most High wanted. He didn't want us intermingling and marrying and doing things that these other nations do. He cut us off. He severed us for a reason. And, when we, like I said, our leaders, they join us back into these people. They fight for us to be one with these people. But that's not what the Bible says we should be doing. Keep going.
And when I heard these things, I rent my garment and my mantle and plucked off the hair of my head and of my beard and sat down astoned.
You see that? How mad you think you got to be to pull your hair out your face and off your head? Keep going.
Then was it similar to me, everyone that trembled at the words of the God of Israel, because of the transgression of those that had been carried away. I sat astonished until the evening sacrifice.
You see that? Israel was astonished. He couldn't believe it. He's like, I can't believe they've been doing this, because that's how serious of an offense this is. He can't believe it. Keep going.
And at the evening sacrifice, I arose from my heaviness, and having rent my garment and my mantle, I fell upon my knees and spread my hands unto the Lord my God, and said, Oh my God, I am ashamed and blush to lift up my face to thee, my God, for our iniquities are increased over our head, and our trespasses grown up the heavens.
You see that? So Ezra was he was embarrassed to even come to the Most High. He was ashamed just for what the nation of Israel had been doing, joining themselves into these other nations. Let me give me verse 13.
Verse 13. After all there is come upon us our evil, let me start. And after all that is come upon us for our evil deeds and for our great trespass, seeing that our God has punished us less than our iniquity deserves, and has given us such deliverance as this.
You see that? And even though we did all that, the Most High still punished us, or has punished us, way less than we deserve. See that? Because he's so merciful, he's still not go punish us like we really deserve it. He go give us a lot of grace and a lot of mercy. That was a lesson I did a while ago. Cherish your blessings because you don't deserve them. So, the Most High is so merciful and so good that he's still not going to punish us how he really should. Give me Ezra 10:3.
Ezra chapter 10, verse 3. Now, therefore, let us make a covenant with our God to put away all the wives and such as are born of them, according to the counsel of my Lord, and of those that tremble at the commandments of our God, and let it be done according to the law.
You see that? So to reconcile this, they end up putting away all the wives and separated themselves from the people, from the heathen that they had joined themselves unto. They had to turn and not look back because they had to separate themselves from that. Let me get Proverbs 11 and 20.
Proverbs 11 and verse 20. They that are of a forward heart are abominations to the Lord, but such as are upright in their ways is his delight.
You see that? So you can't be an abomination to the Most High. You got to separate yourself and don't and not look back. You know, be able to be corrected. Give me verse 21.
Salakia. Verse 21. Though hand join in hand, the wicked should not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered.
You see that? So if you join hand with them if you want to, they go get punished anyway. You don't want to be holding their hand when they get punished. You know, you want to be away from that. Let them get their judgment and stay away from it. You go get judged right with them if you join hands with them. Let me get Isaiah 13 and 1.
The verse of Isaiah 13 and 1. The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see.
You see that? So it's talking about Babylon. You know, modern Babylon had. Keep going. Well, give me verses 9 through 16. I want to get that first verse so we get the context. But keep going.
Verse 9. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, cruel both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it.
You see that? The Most High go destroy the sinners out of Babylon. And we know America is modern day Babylon. Keep going.
For the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened in his going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine. And I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease. And I will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man that is golden wedge of Ophir.
You see that? So a man gonna be very precious, you know, especially one that's in this truth and keeping the commandments. You know, that's gonna be more precious than fine gold when the Most High come down judging. Because you know, that's gonna be for the sisters, that's gonna be the way a lot of them get covered. Keep going.
Therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out her place, and in the wrath of the Lord of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger. And it shall be as a chased roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee everyone into his own land.
You see that? This is another one. Separate. Turn to your own people. Flee to your own land. Keep going.
Everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined to them shall fall by the sword.
You see that? There it go again. If you join unto Babylon, while this happened, you know, joined in philosophy, joined in doctrine, you know, joining their beliefs, you go fall by the sword. Keep going.
Their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled and their wives ravished.
You see that? Ravage is like a term for rape. So if you join into them if you want to, you know, I don't think nobody want to see their children get destroyed and dashed to pieces and their wives raped. So, you know, let me get last scripture. Let me get Joel 3:20 and 21.
Joel 3 and 20. But Judah shall dwell forever, and Jerusalem from generation to generation. For I will cleanse their blood that I have not cleansed, for the Lord dwell in Zion.
You see that? So the Most High is, you know, we go Israel, nation of Israel, go make it forever. You know, just make sure you part of that elect that's gonna make it forever. Don't be the ones that's getting destroyed because you still want to join into America. You know, you don't want to stop sinning. You know, you don't want to separate from these people. you know, that's doing wickedness, you know, be part of that elect that make it through this, because you know it's gonna be a rough time. You know, so stop sinning, turn back to the Most High, keep these commandments. Shalom.
Yourself when the lies and the doctrine you clinging to. Repenting mean the path that you walking, you see it through. That mean you gotta switch up your people, leaving the crew. That mean you gotta watch what you say and watch what you do. But until you see the truth, you just looking around for a clue. And it's easy to find evil, cause evil looking for you. Bishop got us militant, keep us ready like Minutemen. Demons in the sleep of Yahweh coming to finish them. Gotta love my features, no difference between our images. Wisdom getting deeper, I'm prophesying to many men. Keep it real, study the word, showing yourself approved. Faith without works is a body, gotta make different moves. I never be perfect, still shooting to fit the biggest shoes. Watching what I eat, son, to eat them, weaponizing the food. We had to fight and sacrifice to get to this point. Follow the laws of the Torah, you can't do what you want. Wartime, I'm on the line, you could catch me up front. Reading out my 1611, got my Glock in the trunk. Some people don't understand, still it's a hole in their body. Some people never gonna see that it's the devil that got them. You casting spells on yourself, you saying that you got problems. Meditate day and night, but I still get it poppin'.